Over the last few days, it seems as though the media has decided to divert the debate away from facts, away from policy. Instead, they've decided to attack us, to undermine us, to misrepresent us. My name's James Crocker and I am the Reform UK candidate for Stratford-on-Avon at the general election. Now, if you didn't know it before, the establishment bias is real. Frequently, it is quite subtle. At worst, it is out and out lies. And today, Rishi Sunak blames Russian bots on social media for undermining democracy, when the irony is it's much closer to home. And here's the rub. It hasn't gone unnoticed. People aren't stupid. And if there's one thing the British public do not like, it is injustice. We are not the type of people portrayed by the media. We are Alexis from Luddington, who is sick of a large government that only wants to get bigger and interfere with our lives even more. We are Graham from Binton, who lost relatives on the beaches of Normandy fighting actual Nazis. We are Aaron from Stratford, who is training to be a surgeon but knows very well that throwing money at the NHS is not the solution. We need fundamental reform. And we are Margaret from Studley, who is a passionate pensioner who for the first time in her life at this election has become actively involved in politics because Reform UK is the only voice that speaks to her. Now, I'd love to discuss policy, I'd love to discuss our plans, and I will. But right now, I want to say one thing. The Labour share in Stratford has always been low, and I cannot see why it will get any bigger materially this time. Conservatives have always had a decent majority, but practically nobody wants to vote for them. Not now, not this time. They want to vote Reform UK, and they will. And how do I know this? By speaking to people on doorsteps. And remember, at the referendum, the Stratford-on-Avon constituency voted 52% to leave the EU. Now, that is in stark contrast to the Lib Dem desires and policies who want us back despite what we voted for. That has not been forgotten. Now, on the whole, us reformers, we don't make a loud noise. We aren't big reactors. We don't play dirty tricks. We don't believe in cancelling our opponents. We're quiet. We're thoughtful. And in the privacy of the voting booth on Thursday, in massive numbers, we will put X in the Reform UK box. And I think it's the silent majority. Now, for many, it represents a vote against the establishment. And partly because of that, I now genuinely expect us to win. The media will say it's a shock, but it won't be a shock to me. It won't be a shock to our huge team of leafleters who have been out speaking to people across the region over the last few weeks. And the message is very simple in the Stratford-on-Avon constituency. On the 4th of July, vote Crocker, vote Reform UK, and let's change politics for good.